All right. And we touched on it briefly, but now we're going to talk a little bit about this Poland stuff because this is just we need to start doing this here too. Poland plans to make censoring of social media accounts illegal from The Guardian. Following Trump's Twitter ban, Polish government wants to protect posts that do not break nation's laws. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be up to the tech company. It should be up to the laws of the company in the country that they are doing business out of. Polish government officials have denounced the deactivation of Donald Trump's social media account and said a draft law being readied in Poland will make it illegal for tech companies to take similar actions there. Algorithms or the owners of corporate giants should not decide which views are right and which are not, wrote the Prime Minister Mero McCarthy on Facebook earlier this week. Without direct mention of Trump, there can be no consent. There can be no consent to censorship. He is absolutely correct. You cannot allow that to happen. The corporate giants should not decide what speech and what ideas can and can't be put out there in the court of public opinion or the forum of ideas. If your ideas can't compete with other ideas, the shit ideas, and you don't just suppress good ideas for your shit ideas, that's not how it works. Morawski indirectly compared social media companies taking decisions to remove accounts with Poland's experiences during the communist era. What was it? I gotta. What's it? Morawski. I'm probably sorry if I butchered that, guys. Morawski indirectly compared social media's companies taking decisions to remove accounts with Poland's experience. Oh yeah, so if the social media are taking down the accounts of their experiences during the communist era because they're trying to snuff out what happened in the damn that the World War II, so they can actually do their communist BS again. Because let's be real, Joe Biden's the herald of communism. That is that is complete bullshit. Censorship of free speech, which is the domain of totalitarian and authoritarian regimes, is now returning in the form of new commercial mechanisms to combat those who think differently, he wrote. This dude is the fucking man. Is this their prime minister? Like, way to go voting for this guy in Poland. You guys are awesome. Poland's ruling Law and Justice Peace Party, which is identically aligned with Trump on many issues, has itself been accused of trying to limit freedom of speech in recent years. I guess oh, that's Law and Justice Party. Hmm. Okay, if that's weird. Why are you? This guy must, after reading that, if that's true, if they've been censoring speech on their own, it's just another Meghan Merkel that doesn't want the power taken from them. Nobody should have that power, not even Poland's government. Some of its members have made habits of anti. Yeah, this is just now they're just jabbing at Polish politics, which is not really my thing. I'm not Polish. Polish politics is not really my thing. But he is right. We can't allow these companies to be the arbiter of what is and isn't truth or what is or isn't right. Especially sometimes when these fact checkers have been so politically biased that they get it wrong. Like Facebook is going after Tim Pool, and all he does is read other people's news card certified news. So it's wrong for me to say that they said it, but they're the ones like, what the fuck is going on here? We live in a clown world. Like, this is a fucking circus. This is a fucking carnival, and we only have one act: clowns. We need to get some acrobats up in this. We need to get a beast tamer, a lion tamer. We need to get a strong man, a bearded woman. We need to get the Siamese freaks. We got to do something because this one act circus is gonna it's gonna collapse. I empires only last around 250 years. Uh, I don't know when we went from a nation to an empire, but we're showing signs of collapse, and we really need to be focused on that to mitigate the damages of the collapse because there's no stopping that. We're gonna end up in multiple countries. It's not gonna. That's how it's gonna. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna fracture into multiple countries. China's gonna become the world superpower. Taiwan's scared as because the beaching drills, and they don't trust Biden's going to do anything to help them, and I don't blame them. Since most of the government, by China's own admission, is Chinese spies. Like, we still have a person in the intelligence committee that's sleeping with a Chinese spy. Uh, but speech is the problem. Wake the fuck up. I want to say wake the fuck up America, because that's my problem, my wheelhouse. But it's really wake the fuck up humanity, because this is going on everywhere. Tech giants are global, and it's time we put them back in their fucking place. That's where they belong. They belong in their fucking place. No company's policies should be able to circumvent the rules of the host nation they're doing business in. If they circumvent the rules of the host nation they're doing business with, they should be charged, prosecuted, and fined in accordance to that country's laws. That's what it means to be free. That's what it means to respect each other's sovereignty. That's how we move forward as humanity. So we don't have another dark ages, or like all the other like crappy times where we improve life and then we set it back in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations. It's like we can never learn. People like insulted by the reference of monkey when people like refer to humans as monkeys or apes or whatever, but like those fucking things are smarter than we are. That's a compliment in comparison. We need to make Orwell fiction again. We need to make speech free again, because this Orwellian draconian shitbaggery needs to fucking stop. We can't sustain as a free and civil society with this Orwellian draconian shitbaggery, that's totalitarian, authoritarian, fascist bullshit continuing. We can't remain we cannot keep going as a united people with this going on. This is war. This will lead to war. It always leads to war. The next step is guns, and they're already talking about that, but this always leads to war. And we got to make speech free again to keep that from happening. Make free. Well, this doesn't lead to war. Censoring leads to war. This will stop that from happening. We got to get our foots out of our ass, take our heads out of our ass, our foots out of our mouth, and unfuck this mess. That's why I don't care, and I speak. I make a clean version, and I just say this, that, this, because it's a point for free speech. I'd rather do 2 different versions and do more work than be here. With that in mind, I'm sorry to the BitChute guys, because they have fucking processing issues with videos, and some of our videos don't get processed no matter how many times we put them up there. We're still putting them up there, and sometimes it takes 10, 12 times to put them up there before they get going. So I'm sorry if there's some missing content to our library. We're going to be focusing on mines, though. We're like exploding on mines. We think we're being throttled everywhere else. But with that being said, we got to make free speech again. It just really is. Like we got to do what Poland does and make it illegal for these companies to what Poland's doing, and make it illegal for these companies to do this bullshit.